Welcome to the What We Remember Rundown for Star Wars The Mandalorian, Chapter 4, Sanctuary. My name is Bradley Jones.
My name is Andrew Moldenhauer.
And I'm Andy Hubert.
Yeah, and then we just start.
That's right. Every time. It gets us every time. Look, when you got a flow, you just...
Yeah, it's hard to flow. This movie starts with some scramps.
It's not. You think it's a movie, Brad?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's very cinematic. It's a very cinematic.
It starts with some scramps.
It does
Scramps?
start with
A bunch of scramps.
Scramps?
They're called krill.
Some prawns.
Prawns. Yeah, the blue
Yeah.
prawns.
A bunch of prawn farmers
Yeah.
is how this thing opens.
Oh, yeah.
They're just chilling.
A bunch of villages. Like a bunch. What does this remind you of? Like, pilgrims? What are these people?
I mean,
They're
kind
like
of
farmers. It's
Yeah,
like
just
rice
farmers.
paddies.
It's like
agrarian.
Turn of the century farmers.
Yeah.
I thought this was a flashback the entire time.
Yeah, and you were
The entire time.
kid was going to be him or something.
Yeah, I did, actually.
No, I totally get it.
That would have been good.
I thought it was a flashback.
And they
I
would
was
have got.
like,
And then
oh,
it would have ended with
okay.
the robot attack.
Mm-hmm.
That might be an episode coming.
Maybe, possibly, but
I think I had the same thought at one point,
Interesting.
but no, it turns out it's now. It's in the now.
Yeah, a bunch of villagers getting attacked by the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
They just show up with
they-
laser guns.
they had nothing to defend themselves, too. They just
No.
had to flee.
Well, they weren't getting like killed. The orcs
No,
were just
they
wanting
just blew some stuff up.
They
and-
wanted that blue... Excuse me, those blue prawns.
the blue prawns.
Well, have you seen the market price of those things? I mean, shoot, that's the only way to get them without bankrupting.
They're probably
yourself,
a hot commodity. I bet they taste great. Those,
Probably.
Those orcs are called Clatoonians.
Platunians.
Yeah,
I had
I
the
heard they
subtitles
were
on.
in one of the older movies or something, but I had no
They're
idea.
straight up Lord of the Rings orcs, though.
Yeah, they mentioned like there's
There's
one
even
of
one
them,
like screams like one.
There's one in like the background in Jabba's palace or something in Return of the Jedi, and so they're like, "Oh wow, callback," and I'm like, that's a bit of a stretch though.
No, these seem like new things.
Is that like... who is it in the back of Jabba the Hutt's palace?
There's so many
one of those
people.
pig
One
people?
of yeah, well, no,
Well, there's
not
the
one of
big
those
people.
pig peoples. Those are other dudes, but no, like specifically this race that attacks the village. There's like one of them in like the back of one of the shots of Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
So
I like that they're bringing in like really like just irrelevant little bits from other to like make the world
fan service,
yeah.
seem bigger. Yeah,
You need fan service, right? Another fan service. The Mandalorian is hanging out with Yoda in a ship. Calls him a womp rat. Mm-hmm. It comes
classic
up again later.
Star
yeah.
Wars insult.
Do we ever see a womp rat? Is it only in the comics or whatever?
I don't think we do. I mean, Luke references it in the original trilogy.
I looked it up. They're big.
Bullseye womp
They're
rats back
large.
home.
They're like the ROUSs from Princess
Oh,
Bride.
yeah, yeah.
They're like 2 meters long.
Okay, well, it makes it sense
The
that
size
he's
of
able to
dogs.
bullseye him. So
Jeez.
2 meters long. What are you, metric system?
That's what the
look,
Wikipedia says.
in
Star Wars is shot in England. What am I
space
gonna
metrics,
do? And the Mandalorian's looking for a hideout. He finds this planet.
Yep, goes to the bar. Mm-hmm. He's got a problem.
He goes straight to the bar.
He brings his baby to the bar. Mando, not acceptable.
yeah.
learning.
See, that's bad.
Well, he was going to leave the baby in the ship for,
Oh, that's
at
true.
first.
The baby
Yeah.
wanted to come. Baby
Yeah.
Yoda, because it was, oh my God. It was so cute. It was
Baby
like
Yoda-
walking
You get to
through
see
the
it
Baby
live.
Yoda
woods.
continues to just be great all the time.
This was the episode where they like put Baby Yoda front and center, and they were like, "This is all of its cuteness and adorableness
Oh man.
up in front of your face."
Yeah,
and
they're-
it was awesome.
They're memeing Baby Yoda like nobody's business.
Oh yeah. I mean, this was a genius marketing move, but I'm all about it.
I didn't see any memes or anything prior to this episode coming out. As soon as this episode came out, like Reddit was full of stuff.
Yeah.
NPR had a little segment on it just the other day.
Yeah, man, Baby Yoda is all the rage. You don't have one.
They don't
now.
have
You
a-
gotta have one
It's
in your
coming.
movie now.
The puppet's coming. The Funko Pop, I think, is already
Oh, got it.
Yeah, they
on
said
its way.
Yeah, because they were saying that they didn't actually have like anything ready for Christmas. I believe like any like actual toy Yoda toy, but they also wanted to keep Yoda a secret. So then that's why they didn't push the toy.
Right.
Yeah,
Really-
Which
because
is the
that-
same
Toys leak a
situation.
lot. Leak a lot of information.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Where
which
you-
was the same situation that happened when the original Star Wars came out. They didn't know it'd be that popular. All the toys were not ready. And so you basically bought a voucher that like you would get your toy 4,
In the
5,
future.
6 months down the road.
I think there was a Star Wars toy that spoiled something. If I recall.
I believe you're right. I don't know.
in one of the prequels.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is.
It was like someone's
but-
lightsaber or somebody they
Right.
put like an accoutrement on a character and it spoiled the plot point.
And that is somewhere where people look for spoilers before Star Wars stuff comes out. Is they're like, oh, is there any interesting toy releases that no one noticed or
They're
something?
like, why does my Darth Maul split in half? I don't understand this toy.
Exactly.
There was a documentary on Netflix about pinball, and they go into depth about the Star Wars prequel pinball game, and they basically like had to sign like crazy amounts of NDA because they were getting like sound bites and visuals and stuff from the movie that like wasn't out yet. So it was pretty much like them like working in super secret for like an entire year on Star Wars pinball, like not being able to tell their friends and family like anything about what they were doing.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's one of those where you're like, don't breach this one or we are all dead.
Because when that pinball game came out, it like had story elements and plot points, and it had all this stuff in it, characters that you didn't see before.
I'm always amazed at the intricacy in pinball machines and the amount of work that goes into like
particularly this one is very
interesting.
interesting.
Can do and the displays, and I'm like, how much margin are there on pinball machines? Like, it seems like so much labor goes into those things. I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
they make that much.
Newer ones get sold between $3,000 and $5,000.
It's like,
and there's different levels of
like
pinball machines. They're bigger, have different things in it.
Yeah.
So you can get like a deluxe version of a regular pinball machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you do actually make any money off of pinball machines.
Yeah, it seems.
It depends on like
very
what
labor intensive.
Yeah.
To build
it depends on if it's like a bar
and
or
design
if it's an
them,
arcade.
like just design like who freaking plans out all the little ball tracks and all the other stuff, and like how many people does that go into? Like, it's a crazy operation.
I never even thought like what you were saying, like a storyline, like a Star Wars pinball machine has a storyline. I never even like thought about like a pinball machine having a storyline.
I never realized that until I started hanging out with people who like really play pinball and like actually score high enough to get into all those story elements. Because some of those games, like you have to be very good to like actually figure that stuff out. But they'll be like, oh no, like this is stage 1. Now we're getting into stage 2, and you're like, there's like a whole thing in this game. I was watching that for the Star Trek 2009 pinball game.
Oh,
has
yeah.
like a really interesting like story that you play through in the pinball machine.
It does.
Wow.
Tron does too. Tron pinball. It's really fun.
It's really interesting.
There's only Star Wars chess in this universe, right? That's the only game they play.
True, yeah,
They
I
have a
think you're
casino. They have games in there.
They do have a big casino.
Were there slot machines, like holographic slot machines in the casino? I forget.
I think so, because in the newer movie you got
the last movie
Canto
that came out?
Bight, you got
Last
BB-8
Jedi.
exploding with coins because the dude keeps feeding tokens into
Yeah.
him. So I had to believe that he thought
It makes sense there'd be computer
games.
games and things to do. Of,
Right.
Like, what's the leisure life in a Star Wars galaxy, you know?
Yeah, it's a
You
good
know,
question.
finding trinkets in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
Just being a scavenger.
bullseye and womp rats from your
They gotta have
T16.
simulators like that, like TIE Fighter simulators and Rebel.
Right, they probably have
X-Wing
VR,
It's hard to
right?
tell like what kind of technology they have.
Yeah.
They have some
Yeah.
technology
And then
like
they-
that makes them ahead of us, and then they have some technology that makes them way
Yeah, there's
behind
some
us.
that technology that I think just because of the way it's required to fit into the canon is so bad. Like every set of binoculars in anything Star Wars are awful, and I'm like, how do you use these? They seem terrible, but it's like because digital binoculars were like not a thing when the original one came out, really. So they had the tech that they had, so now that's the standard for Star Wars binoculars.
Yeah, it's kind of cool
Oh,
though.
jeez.
In this episode, the people are like by hand getting the krill out of the water, but then in the background, there's also like a robot that's like specifically
Yes.
designed to scoop the krill. I was
They
like,
could
this
only
is a
afford
mix-
one of those.
This is such a mixed match, yeah.
Well,
Might as well
that's-
just have the robot do it all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, one of the things I do like that plays into the whole space western aspect of it is the idea that you have these frontier worlds where you just don't have the technology that the inner worlds have, which is funny too because if you watch like especially some westerns set at kind of near the end of the Wild West era, you have these where you have like these western towns that have just it's exactly like it was 50 years ago, just nothing, and then someone shows up from the big city, and like if you see a shot of the big city, it looks like a regular city, and you're like, oh, so that stuff existed, it just didn't get out there.
Yeah.
And this plays exactly into that, where you have worlds
that
that
is
just
interesting.
don't have that kind of technology.
It makes
and
sense
stuff like
though.
that.
Yeah. Maybe people aren't bringing that technology there. Maybe there's like actual like hierarchies of like wealth and poverty on certain planets. Like certain people with wealth just don't go to those planets, or they're over here, or like these are more impoverished
Right,
planets.
like how close is it to the center of the system? Probably like shipping
Yeah.
lanes, all that stuff.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely.
Lucas knew what was going on when he tried to make Episode 1 all about a tax dispute.
Speaking of episode 1, I was thinking about the Gungans. Like them, like they have underwater spaceships, like
Yeah.
submarines and things,
That's
but
true.
they never really go out to outer space.
No, that's true.
It's an interesting people, those Gungans.
Well,
they choose to live under the
that's
water.
a curious one.
Gungans.
See, Brad, you're getting into some of that sensitive territory because they talk about how Like, where would the Gungans have been if the Naboo hadn't? It sounds like they colonized the planet and like forced the Gungans to kind of move underwater, like because they're kind of in hiding.
Mm-hmm. It's like
from who?
It's like the time machine, like the
humans.
Morlocks and the humans or whatever.
Yeah, basically. And so you're like, wow, did they get like oppressed out of space?
Oh no,
like
they were
how'd that
just so
work?
annoying. Like,
Yeah,
go underwater,
right.
Mr.
Like,
Gungan.
it does seem like there are
Shut
different.
up.
There's a lot of different social structures within economic and social structures within the Star Wars universe.
Well, I mean, I've ranted before about the idea that, like, Tatooine, like, has, like, or not Tatooine in this series, unless it is, from episode 1, where there's, like, slavery still happens on planets, and we're like, well, we're just too far away, so they let slavery happen. And you're like, oh, okay.
That's a bummer. I guess everyone has their own rules and laws and things.
Yeah.
Slavery happens here.
Yeah, it's like, instead of yelling states' rights, you're yelling, like, planets' rights,
Yeah.
Just you don't see like a lot of like Jawas in space. They're just like certain races that just aren't going to be space people.
Yeah, they don't go.
But some do, like the
We speculated on the Jawas moving planet to planet, and they're one sand crawler.
the Wookiees. Do the Wookiees ever? Is it just Chewbacca that flies around? Do the Wookiees have like spaceships?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know. Number 3, they have the Wookiee planet, right?
They do.
They
The
do.
entire
Yep.
Wookiee planet.
They just seem like, I don't know, just creatures of the jungle. They don't seem like they're really into like flying and
But
stuff.
Chewbacca was always into technology. He could like ride.
It seemed like he knew what he was
things
doing.
and do stuff. And was he the pilot? What was he?
I mean,
First
like
officer?
a co-pilot.
yeah.
Okay, get back to this. I guess
Oh, right. Yeah.
they go to that diner. And they meet Gina Carino.
Yes.
who is
Is that
playing a
the-
character named Cara Dune.
Yeah.
Okay,
She's
that's the girl sitting.
She's the shock trooper.
Yeah, she's a former Imperial shock trooper is what she said, which is pretty cool. I think that's something.
What's a
out
shock
of the-
trooper?
They're like elite. They're like Green Beret kind of, soldiers in the
Elite
Empire. So
soldiers.
like they like land down to just like wreck stuff before the main invasion happens. And
Yeah, Gina Carino briefly talks
Special
about her
forces.
job, but it's only a few sentences. I kind of wish we got a little more in depth with her, but she's
Yeah.
like still kept mysterious.
I liked her character a lot. I thought she was really interesting.
I have a big feeling that each of these characters that he keeps meeting and visiting and then leaving behind will eventually
All come back.
all come back to meet up with him.
Like the
Yeah.
Avengers.
Like including Nick Nolte's character,
Yes.
her.
I need to assemble a squad.
yeah.
There's gonna be one big mission. He's got to put a whole crack team together.
That might not be till next season, but yeah, I feel like it's gonna happen.
I think you're right. I get the same kind of feeling. Although that might just be me hoping because
Yeah.
I wanted him to assemble a crew, and then like they kept teasing, and then like nope. At this point, he's going to pretend to assemble a crew and then leave them at each planet he stops by, and I'm like, no, I want them all.
George Clooney's gonna come by and be like, "We need an 11th guy, don't we? We need an 11th. Come on."
It's like, why is the Ocean's theme song playing?
And then they go get Matt Damon in Chicago. They're like, wait a minute, how did this happen?
No, we're in Star Wars. We're not having a crossover.
I would be there for that crossover.
Crossover between Star Wars and
Ocean's
Ocean's 11. That would be amazing. So they're at the bar,
Drinking spotchka, having bone broth.
and the Mandalorian knows that he knows her or knows that she's a bounty hunter.
I think so.
I think I think
Or
it
he
was sort of
suspects.
he like saw her and was like, hey, she seems like trouble. And then when she was gone, he was like, uh-oh, I need to figure out what the heck's going on with her.
Yeah.
Tracks her down, but they get in a little tussle.
Yeah, and she kicks his butt.
And then
true.
Yoda's there, just memeing in the background, drinking some bone broth.
I didn't know why they were getting into a fight. Was she trying to get Yoda or
No, she
No.
was just trying to defend herself.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
she,
it was-
She said that she
was-
thought the Mandalorian was coming to get her.
Yeah, she thought he was there to get her because she like deserted the shock troopers, and so like there's people looking for her for leaving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she said she gave herself an early retirement.
Yeah.
Because she was doing a bunch of groundwork, doing a lot of fighting. Eventually, once the Empire crumbled, she had less to do and was just getting set on peace missions and things.
She's a fighter, not a piecer.
Yeah. So that's her reasoning for like not wanting to be a shock trooper anymore.
Yeah.
Because she just wants to see action.
Saw most of my action mopping up after Endor. Mostly ex-Imperial warlords. They wanted it fast and quiet. They'd send us in on the dropships. No support, just us. Then when the imps were gone, the politics started. We were peacekeepers, protecting delegates, suppressing riots. Not what I signed up for.
How'd you end up here?
Let's just call it an early retirement. Look, I knew you were Guild. I figured you'd had a fob on me. That's why I came at you so hard.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Well, this has been a real treat. Unless you want to go another round. One of us is going to have to move on, and I was here first.
Looks like this planet's taken.
Which is why she went to a nowhere planet to not do that.
Yeah. Like, no, she's hiding out.
Well, yeah,
I
she is.
think.
But yeah, no, I liked her character a lot. I thought she played it really well, and I thought she was really interesting, just in general. Like in the fight they have, like I mean, it's clear that she's you can very clearly tell that she is or was an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
and like just wrecks him, and it's really good. It's a lot of fun to watch.
She was an MMA
She is,
fighter?
yeah.
She is. Or I don't know if she's still currently fighting, but she was.
I'm not sure.
The actress was.
Eventually, you get
MMA.
aged out of that kind of thing. There's injuries
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's been doing a lot of movie stuff. This was like
Yeah, she was in one of the Fast
She was
and
in
Furious movies, I
Deadpool.
think, too. Oh, yeah, and yep, she was in Deadpool.
Fast and the Furious one. She was an American Gladiator.
What?
And
the new one?
The new
Yeah,
one.
and the new one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she was very good, and I thought their relationship together, like it seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah.
They're both
their
like
dynamics.
alphas. You know?
Yeah.
They both have respect for like fighting and doing sweet stuff, and they kind of like are on equal footing. They both get the best of each other and both pull a gun at the same time.
Yep.
Now, his original reason to go to this planet was to find a bounty,
Same
or
with
to
hers.
cool
no,
out,
same
cool down,
with hers,
hide out.
just to hide. He's like,
Hide.
because he did
To
some
get
reading
away
too, and he was just
from-
like, oh wow, there's like not even a spaceport on this planet. Like I can just land wherever. There's like no major technology or anything like that. No huge cities.
It was
so-
off the grid.
Yeah, so he's like, I can hide here, no problem.
No, I mean he's still because he has Yoda, and like all of these guys have these tracking devices. They know where he is, so he's
Yeah.
not really
Yeah,
hiding.
they still haven't quite
The tracking device
explained
thing
this.
is a little funky.
I have to believe.
I mean, it
can't
did.
work.
It did come out in this episode
Cross-planet.
It
because
did.
someone was tracking them.
Right, but
I don't know what the range of
think-
these
I wonder if he
are.
just got lucky. Like he landed on that planet to be like, hey, maybe they're on this planet, and it was going off or something. And
I need to know how these tracking devices are coded. I need to know
Yeah.
their limitations.
right, I
I
also
need to know a
thought
lot of
too,
stuff about these.
Like the Mandalorian like states all the reasons why this planet will be perfect for hiding, and I was like, at the same time, I'm like, but wouldn't that be also obvious to all the people looking for you that this is a great place to hide? So they're like, let's check here.
How do you get these activated? You need the DNA of the thing you're looking
Yeah, that's a
for.
good
How do you
question.
assign it? Mm-hmm. I need to
We
know.
need to know about these fobs.
Yeah.
Can we talk really quick about Baby Yoda speed walking?
Of
Because
course.
that was so
Through the
cute.
forest?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Little
That
booking it.
I had to rewind it and watch it again. It was so cute. It was so cute. Little baby Yoda.
Just cruising.
That is the most adorable thing.
I do still miss the bassinet though.
Yeah.
The little floaty bassinet. I'm like,
He needs like
Yeah, I was surprised they weren't
He should have
using
dumpster
that.
dived that out of there and just gone with it.
They really went for him walking too. Like I actually was surprised they didn't use the little bassinet
Yeah.
because he was having to keep up with the Mandalorian. He was like moving. He was
I
trucking.
was like, man, you gotta slow down, man. His legs are like super tiny, dude.
he needs to get like a backpack or one of those like Bjorns. Like a Yoda
Baby
Bjorn.
Yoda Bjorn.
Baby Yoda Bjorn.
Dude, that'd be cool. Yeah, he has like a little
Baby
pouch
Yoda.
like on his stomach, and
Yeah.
Baby Yoda's right there, and he's got his guns out, and he's fighting.
Yeah. Baby Yoda could be using the Force.
Yeah, Baby
in the
Yoda's
coat
like,
in the kangaroo pouch.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's like casting.
I'm
I don't know,
here
Yoda
for that.
spells.
Let's get it going. Oh man. So now this was the Bryce Dallas Howard episode,
Yes.
correct? Yeah. It was good. I like the way it was shot. Like there's some really cool
There's some long shots.
stuff in it.
There's some stuff in the bar that was a little bit questionable, but after you get out of there, it seems to be
The
okay.
geometry in the bar was kind of
It
confusing.
was.
To
It
me.
seemed like it'd be just hard to shoot in general.
Yeah, it could
Like,
be.
The camera placements were kind of just like over the shoulders, like behind people.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't seem like there was like a lot of things you could do in there.
Yeah.
It was kind of the set dressing wasn't, there's something remarkable about that bar.
Yep.
Can't remember it at all. It's just
No.
like this big dome. of
No, I
things
mean he
happening.
just like
Yeah.
walked in,
And they were
at
in there for,
angles
like, a
like right at
minute.
it followed him right to a table.
I
shoot
almost
us
wish
in
there
the
was less
background.
people in it or something, but I don't know.
The way they shot it, they made it look a little bit more empty. Because they were just shooting along the walls. Like, he was along the wall, and then she
Yeah.
was just right in the back along the wall. So they
Yeah.
didn't show you the actual bar setup as much.
Even if it's like there was stuff like near the bar, because like when they were fighting, it seemed like there was like other stuff around them, like
Yeah.
other buildings and things. But
Right. Yeah. When they're
I
in
don't
the
really
alley
know.
behind it or whatever.
so two people from the village come right as he's leaving, and try to offer him a job
To his ship. Yeah.
to kill the Clatoonians.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they're...
He says no.
Yeah.
No, Doc, I'm leaving. Bye. Not enough
They're
money.
like,
not my
we
problem.
drove all this way day and night to get to
This
you.
is all we have. We're a small village.
It was like they had like $2,200 or something like that. And
Yeah.
It's like...
and he's like, I'm out of here. And then Baby Yoda gives him those eyes.
like,
and
that's
he's
not
just
enough.
like, dang it. Baby Yoda wants me to do it.
Is that what happened?
No,
No.
he finds
Okay, I
out.
was gonna say he just changed his mind.
They slip out that they live in the middle of nowhere, and then that's what perks him up. And be like, middle of nowhere, you say?
He's like, maybe we can
That's
do an
where I wanna
arrangement.
go.
Give me a house and stuff and hide me for a while, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
But he needs help, so
Yeah.
he gives the money that they were going to give him to Cara Dune
Yep.
as a recruitment. Hires a mercenary, a little bit of backup,
Yeah.
and they hang out in a wagon. And
Yeah, they cart
travel
out
to
there in the
village.
wagon for the whole day.
It took day and night to get out here.
He meets the village people.
Oh,
They sing YMCA.
Yo, man. Yo, man.
There's a girl in this episode, Amara.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
she's
I
like the
had
star
mixed-
of the village.
I had
Oh,
mixed feelings about this.
This was classic Western. This right here, the
Yeah.
determined widow, is like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
classic Western trope. I know some people were upset that like how come she's the only one in the village that knows how to shoot? And I was like, this is like straight out of like the spaghetti Western.
Yeah,
But
the one capable woman.
Yeah, I figured that. I don't know what I figured actually about her
Yeah.
shooting. I just assumed maybe she. I don't know. Maybe she did something in the past that
yeah,
she
I
had
mean,
to be trained.
The
in
Galaxy
this.
did just finish like a big civil war kind of thing. So
Yeah, she might have fought. I don't
yeah,
know.
it could have been part of
Not
the
sure.
rebels or something, or yeah. But she's got a kid that she's trying to protect. That's who
Winter.
we find out. Yeah, that's who we saw in the beginning.
I felt like she was pretty quickly putting it on thick that she wanted him to stay.
She was ready.
and
She was
into
like,
him.
"I got this
blankets
I need a new man."
I don't know if she was like trying to pursue him because she was into him, or if she was just trying to pursue him because he knew what he was doing and it would
Yeah,
protect
to
the village.
which
Yeah.
she's protecting her daughter.
It didn't seem like she had nefarious.
It wasn't nefarious.
She wasn't
no,
trying to
but, like,
exploit him
I-
in any way.
Yeah.
Like use him. That
No.
didn't seem like a
I thought
case.
she was like
She
into
seemed-
him, but then I was like, how could she be into him? He's just wearing armor the entire time. You don't even know who he
She
is.
keeps trying to take that helmet off.
She
did.
kept being
And
like,
I'm like,
"She's
dog."
She's like, when was the last time you took this helmet off?
and she tries to take it off at the end. I'm like, you leave that helmet down,
I was like,
lady.
"Whoa, you
A man's
don't even
helmet?
know."
You leave that alone.
Mando's helmet.
Get your hands off his
And
helmet.
then he took it off in the window, and I was like, "Someone's gonna see you, man." Didn't you just tell your bud Mandos that you like no one has seen your face in 10 years?
Well, we
or
figure
whatever?
out how he eats is that he just has to take it off. She asked, when's
Yeah.
the last time you took it off? He said yesterday. And she was like, no, in front of somebody.
And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
It's like I was like 4, 5.
But he does need to take it off to eat.
Well, of course.
That's something. Well, we never saw it. We didn't know. I thought he drank through a straw.
Yeah, we see. Oh, yeah. That is genuinely a thing I've thought about. Like, you could just be sipping on it all day, and they're like, he's got a big.
you
He's
doing,
got like a
Mando?
little pouch of soup.
Yeah. Or he's
on
like
his
he's like
back.
RoboCop, where he just like sticks like a goo inside of him
Yeah.
to eat.
He's got like an insert and it's just bags of chili inside his costume and he's got a straw.
Yeah. Oh man.
And he's got a back tube, so we know he poops.
There you go. In his ship.
Wait,
He's got,
what?
he's got the vac tube in his ship.
Oh, in his ship. Okay. I thought like in his costume.
He also says that he was taken. His parents were killed, and he was taken in by the Mandalorians. So the Mandalorians aren't like a race of people.
Yeah,
they're
at
like
least
a
at this point,
They're like a
potentially.
group. They're almost like the Empire or the Rebels. Or
Yeah, it sounds.
something.
It's less of like a
like a
unique
sect.
species or something.
It's like a
more of just
mafia
culture.
or like
yeah.
a gang of sorts.
In a
group
way,
of
he
people.
can relate to what they're going through too.
yeah,
That's
right.
Yep. Hmm.
That's why he wants to
And
help.
that's kind of why he's partially sympathetic to
Yeah.
And he sees Yoda having a great time hanging out with
Oh
the
yeah,
kids.
those kids were all about the baby Yoda.
They're playing with him, having a great time.
I was like, this is some meta Star Wars commentary about all the kids playing with their Yoda plushies.
Whoa.
Because the kids in here are all playing with their actual
Built-in
baby
That's
Yoda.
com-
true.
Commercial.
That's true. Oh man.
Man, big time. So they hang out for like a day,
Yeah,
and then they go to scout out the bad dudes.
Yeah.
the Clatoonians.
Yep. And they do some like here's some more Metal Gear stuff where they're like creeping around the base. The Mandalorian like sets a little explosive.
He has some like supervision that he can like. He doesn't do that yet. I think.
Well,
I think
yeah.
he does that a little bit. He just sees like the footprints and things.
That
He has
was
some sort of
pretty
like
cool, yeah.
infrared.
Because you always kind of wonder
Ability.
like what can the helmet do? I asked about it in like the first episode because he uses like an actual like scope to like zoom in on stuff, and I was like, your helmet can't do that for you, but we do get to see it. Yeah, do the cool like thermal imaging or whatever, so we can see the footprints of where he saw where what's her face went when she left the bar at the
Cardoon.
beginning. And then here now watching like for where the guys are in
Yeah,
the camp.
I bet the helmet can only do like one thing. And you got to get a different helmet to do the other thing.
Or you got to get
It's
that
like
antenna
totally like a
to let
video
it do
game.
more things. Because those other Mandalorians had antennas on their helmets, like Boba Fett did.
Ooh. Yeah,
And this is where they realize that there's like the I don't know what it's called. but, like,
ATST.
ATST.
Right.
And so then they're like, bad news, guys. You gotta move. Get out of here.
Yep.
And then that lady's like, well, you could at least like soften the blow a little bit. Then she's like, you guys gotta leave.
They say that they can't leave. Their grandparents put the pods for the krill in or whatever.
Yep.
They have
Come on, dude.
roots
There's
here.
no other place to possibly farm the krills.
I guess not. These are the breeding grounds for them. They make a...
Those krills are that important.
I bet they taste really good.
I mean,
they
when
taste like
it's-
scrimps.
When it's your one crop, it's like, all the farmers now only grow corn.
Yeah.
It's like, what if they were suddenly like, you have to move somewhere you can't grow corn? They're like, that's all I know.
I bet
I
they
can't
export
grow
it for
corn.
like a high price. It could be like the only thing... It might be the only shrimp in the universe.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, I figured, they were
Super fancy
probably
delicacy.
selling it to maybe that bar, for example, and
Yeah.
other places around there.
It's like in Maine where you can get like a lobster for like $2, but then you move somewhere else and
There
it's
you
like
go.
$20.
you can get a lobster for $2 in Maine.
No, that's a fact. That's just a hard fact, and
All right,
everyone
sorry-
that goes there
sorry, guys, I'm leaving.
can take
I'm
that
moving.
as exact.
Do you think it's a stereotype, but to the calamari, you think they're like the biggest customer, like buying
the
all
Mon
those?
Calamari,
Yeah, the Mon
maybe.
Calamari.
It's kind of racist, Brad.
I know. I was. That's
Wait,
why.
what did you say?
That's why I started it with like, is it too
the
stereotypical?
the squid dude.
I mean,
from
everybody
the
wants
Admiral
them,
Akbars
but-
if they would be the ones buying all the krills.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, give me that good stuff. Give me that blue stuff.
Maybe it gets you real high. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
They compromise. They want to be trained in order to fight. They want to like
Yes.
stand by their property. At least you can do is train us. And they do a training montage.
Yep.
Like Rocky.
Oh yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It's like you're holding the stick backwards.
Yep. This is another Western thing where the lone gunman trains the
it's like the Three Amigos.
little desert town.
That's not what I read. I was reminded of the
Still
Three
haven't
Amigos.
seen that
That's
movie.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. They train the whole village to like use a gun.
There's an episode of like Firefly where they do basically the same thing. And but yeah, so they give them all a crash course. That's where they says like who here can shoot, and like she's the only one that can shoot or any of it.
And then they have like a little montage where they're like following all the people shooting, and they're all terrible. And then you get to the last one, and she's like pew 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 pew.
She's like, "What up? I did it!"
Ping 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 ping.
And she wins the big fluffy monkey from the carnival game.
And their plan is that they have to lure. So the two of them, the two mercenaries, Mando and the girl, are going to go to the guys,
Clatoonians.
place. They're going to cause a ruckus, blow up some stuff in order to get them to come to the tribe.
Yes.
Where then they'll be attacked.
Get the jump on them.
Yep. And the plan is they can get the walker to like walk into
walk
their
into one of the
marshes.
ponds that they've dug a little bit deeper so that it'll fall down
Yep.
and
See,
fall over.
everyone was flipping out about those stupid tread bikes in that movie clip. Like, why would you use those desert planet? Like, oh yeah, another one. See, just because Star Wars vehicles aren't supposed to make sense, they don't have to make sense. That's just how they are. Like, oh yeah, the Empire has these walkers that I stepped in a puddle and now I'm in bad shape. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's Star Wars. It's goofy. Why does
Well, I
everyone
think
get
that
mad
makes
about it?
sense.
Oh, I do too. They're saying like, oh, why would they ever invent that then? Like, that's so impractical to have this armored walker that gets defeated by like a little swamp.
Oh my god. What? I mean, there's like plenty of impractical
Exactly.
things in everyday life.
Exactly. It's so ridiculous.
Nothing's perfect.
I'm getting mad about all the people getting mad.
Yeah.
So they lure that ATST, and it's got red eyes.
It looks awesome
It's frightening.
as hell.
And
Yeah.
and like the AT-ATs in Rogue One, they growl again.
Oh yeah.
They still make these growl.
They sound
they sound like
they're-
monsters.
They're like their own creatures. I kind of like
I
that
still
too.
didn't pay attention to that.
It's got like the red lighting in the windows, and you don't see the people inside it. Like I think that's kind of a deliberate choice too.
Sure.
And I really
It's
like that
weird
because
how
it
they,
makes
like-
this its
because
own
you're really
thing.
fighting the thing.
It's weird how they animalize
Yes.
these things.
I think it's really neat.
Yeah.
I enjoy it because it is like facing a big creature, but it's not. It's like a war machine.
The AT-ATs are camels. What are these things? Like ostriches?
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, probably.
I don't even know.
A war
Some sort of
ostrich, you
evil
know.
bird.
Sure. Yeah. It's like a bird. Yeah, because it's got like the
Bipedal?
not bipedal, but like the backwards like
Oh yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
hinge
yeah.
leg. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what that's
The
called.
flamingo bend?
Yeah. Or ostrich.
Yep.
And it's not falling for the tricks.
No, it sees it and it's like, nah, guys.
It
I'm on to
tippy
you.
toes near it. And it's like, nah.
And he stops. And
I
they're
see
like,
what's
crap.
happening.
Well, even before that, what did they actually do at the site? So the two
right.
of them went there.
They set up some bombs. And
They set up some bombs. They had some
had,
time
some
to
fights.
bombs.
They killed some guards.
They blew up the entire
They threw a guard in
building.
a bunch of goo, a bunch of blue goo.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
looked like they killed
Burned
4
them.
of them and then like blew up
Blew
their
the
big,
tent.
Yeah. Which
Yep.
caused a big ruckus, then
Yeah.
they ran back.
It was odd how they got so far ahead of the ATST.
Yes.
Because they're like right next to it, and then they cut to a scene where they're like really far away. And I'm like, there's like a scene missing
Yeah,
there
it's like
of them
it's like
out-
chasing them by.
They never like
behind them, and then, yeah,
outsmarted
it's
it
true.
in any way.
No,
which
they
I think
get,
would
but
have
yeah,
been
they
good.
get way far ahead of that thing by the time they get back to the camp.
They should like tripped it up or done something to make that
Yeah.
happen. But can't complain. Just
yeah,
move,
but
the,
they
move the
get-
show forward.
I mean, maybe they can move faster than that thing.
They
through
were
the
like
woods.
right next. It was just the
was right on
shots
top.
between.
Yeah, it was, like, right on top
the
of
two.
them.
The cuts were just too close together.
Yeah, okay. I didn't really pay attention to that, I guess. I didn't notice.
It's not a big deal, but
Nah.
Anyway, they got back to the farm,
oh yeah,
and this is where like all of these what are they called again?
I'm not sure what the name of
Clatoonians.
the people
Oh.
are. The Clatoonians are the orc things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of them kind of like come out to fight. The ATST's there. They're all fighting back.
and the ATST's just chilling in the back, shooting up the village from.
He's got that
at
sweet
range.
spotlight.
Yes,
It's pretty cool.
I wonder what those Clatoonians thought though, because now these tribespeople have guns and they're actually like
Yeah.
shooting
Right.
and killing them, and the Clatoonians just have like rudimentary weapons, just like the farmers do
Yeah.
in a way.
I kind of like that they were training some people to shoot and some people to like use spears and stuff because they're like
Yeah.
we don't have that many guns and we got to figure out something. So like people
you're
are fighting.
gonna have hand-to-hand
There was like the one
combat.
goofy dude that was holding a spear backwards and they're like,
Yes.
"Come on, you doof."
Yeah, he was a doof.
Oh man.
So
They seem to do pretty well against them.
They
I don't
do.
think- They
Yeah,
didn't lose
they
many
do.
numbers.
No, it wasn't too.
Well, they had a
traumatic, I
perfect
feel
little
like.
setup. They were like, okay, we're gonna put up these little barriers over on the sides, so
Yeah.
they can't like come that way. They only can come forward.
They funneled
and we'll
them in.
shoot at them, and
Yeah.
then we'll do hand to hand combat.
Smart little tactics.
And we'll try and get that ATST to fall into the pond.
But it
Yeah.
won't. So Cara Dune takes it upon herself, grabs the Mandalorian sweet gun,
Yeah.
and tries
For his
to
rifle.
goad it out.
yeah, she like jumps into the pond that it wants to fall into, I believe.
Like core close to it.
Yeah, close to it, right?
yeah.
And it can't find her. That's when it's the sweeping with the spotlight. We're like, where are you at?
Yeah, it's trying to shoot at her, but I think she's just like she's able to like go underwater. She's too low. It can't go that it can't look that far down. I think it's just like
And
the failure of the technology.
Yes, and I like that it took her a couple shots before she manages to hit it right in the eyeball.
Yes.
And that's what makes it really angry. It flips out and then just walks forward and falls down.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Then-
it got like disoriented.
No, I don't know. It's odd.
It is kind of well, again. It goes back to like the idea of like they treat it like it's just a creature as
Uh-huh.
opposed
Yeah.
to like dudes in a thing.
I almost liked it better that way.
I did too. I thought it made it like this
silly.
really interesting, like creepy, imposing thing.
Yeah, yeah. It gave the thing more importance than the people inside.
And the Mandalorian comes up with a bomb, throws it right in the hole, blows
yep.
it up.
Bing.
And then as soon as it blows it
As soon
up,
as that
all the
blows up, all
Clatoonians
the-
were like, "Well, we're
So like our secret weapon. No, no.
You're like, well, we can't do this again."
No more krills for us, and they all run away.
Yeah.
And to me, they shouldn't have let them get away. Go hunt
Oh, yeah.
every last
Murder
Clatoonian
those
down.
Oh my God,
and
Brad.
murder them. Because they're just going to come back stronger. They found an ATSD. Who knows who they're going to...
Oh man, they're gonna find like
Figure
an
it
They
out.
may
AT-AT
come back
next time.
stronger, but maybe these tribes people now know what to do.
I think the Mandalorian's going to come back. That tribe's going to be gone.
Oh, you think they're gonna be dead?
Burnt
But he left
to the
Cara
crisp.
Dune there
Oh,
with
God.
them.
No, she's going to be either
she's
captured
gonna
or
be
gone.
gone,
Did
too?
she stay there? Mm-hmm. She's probably leaving. She's not staying there.
Well, okay.
She's not staying in the village, but
Right.
she's... Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't entirely clear because she was basically saying that, like, oh, people are going to hear about, like, you know, an Imperial Walker getting blown up. So
Yeah, it's going to make news.
probably shouldn't keep hiding here. So it sounded like, it did kind of sound like they were
She was
going to
go somewhere else, yeah.
Or if, I don't know if she was going to stay on the planet or just, like, get out of there.
I'm not sure how those stories would even get out, really, because no one on the planet's telling
Yeah, who's
anybody.
like the Clatoonians? Are they talking to people?
It sounds like it
I
got out
guess
kind of
they're just,
quick
like, grunting.
because they talk about like they blew the Walker up, and that's where we get to the next conflict, which is a bounty hunter shows up.
But the bounty hunter
think
shows
that was
up because of the
independent.
tracking.
You think
device.
that was?
I think so.
I thought it,
But
yeah,
maybe not.
I thought it was kind of like a
Because they do like
Interesting.
they do jump cut like 3 weeks later
yes.
in the
They
Mandalorian.
do. I thought that was weird.
The
It was a little
Mandalorian
bit.
is like talking to Omara. He says that he's going to leave Yoda with the tribe. He's just going to go on his own.
And I was like, as soon as he said it, I'm like, dude, come on. That is the stupidest plan. You know
was
there's like
bad.
a million fobs out there.
Yeah.
What are these people going to do?
It was such a dumb idea. I immediately thought the same thing. I was like, that's not going to work.
It's like,
Everybody's going to be hunting this thing, and you're not going to be there to protect it. You're expecting these farmers to be able to protect it from bounty hunters?
Right. He's like, oh, they're going to be hunting me. And I was like, they were already hunting the Yoda, man. They're going to be looking for both of you. There's no why bother splitting up?
That's where like the limitation of the fob needs to be explained.
Right.
Because maybe he was like, it's going to be too far away. There's like something shielding it.
Yeah, my assumption is that you have to be like on the planet as whatever the other thing is at the very least. And like that's why there was only the one bounty hunter, is that he managed to like land on the right planet and was like, oh, I found one.
So it's only within that distance.
That's just my own guess, but that's
a good hunch.
That would make sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, because if it was like you can turn on the tracking device and you'd be like halfway across the galaxy and you know exactly where they are.
Yeah, so you're like,
you'd be
then right. At that
You'd
point,
be screwed.
I'm just like, man, if anyone puts a bounty on anyone, it seems like an easy job to go find them. Then it's like it takes the challenge out of it.
And that girl, so it's like 3 weeks later, that girl's like, you could stay, and like Yoda likes it here, and
She's
like
like,
the
hey.
kids really like Yoda, and like she's like laying it on thick.
Why don't you go take your helmet off? Let me do it for
Right,
you.
yeah, right.
He's like, no. And right before he says no, there's another bounty hunter that has Yoda in its sights.
Yeah.
But Cara Dune gets a jump on that guy because they've done that like 3 or 4 times now too. Where like,
Well,
you think someone's gonna get shot, and then someone else shoots them.
And the way they set it up too, you thought like Yoda dies because it has like the bounty hunter. He's looking through the scope.
You hear
The scope
the sound
shows
of the
Yoda.
gun, cuts
You hear
to,
the
like,
gun and
birds
like
flying.
birds fly.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the bounty hunter falls, and Cara Dune's right behind him.
See, good thing she was freaking still on the job, unlike the Mandalorian, slacking off in the village, chatting up a widow.
Yeah, trying to take his helmet off.
Come on, son.
I'd let her take my helmet off.
You would?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
I'd probably stay in that village. What else am I doing?
Yeah,
Right.
She's pretty.
What's my plan B? Even
you don't get
Cara Dune's like, you're gonna just like stay with that widow and just like take her to the bone zone for the rest of your life, right? Hang out with Yoda, eat some krill.
and he thought about it.
Bone
He was
zone.
like,
Eat some krill.
maybe this blue krill ain't so bad.
Well,
Seemed like a good life.
But
Never had a
maybe
lady.
the Mando's allergic to shellfish, though. You don't know. Maybe he can't. Maybe
why he's
he's
gotta
like,
keep that
maybe
helmet
that's why he
on.
can't stay. He's like, if I stay here, I'll be malnourished.
He's
'cause I
like,
can't
don't
eat.
take that
He
helmet
takes the
off.
helmet off because
I'm
he's
highly
just,
allergic.
he's just full of hives.
Yeah, it's so itchy.
I'm highly allergic to krill. It's not going to work out.
So he's got to leave.
He does have to
Gonna
leave.
take Yoda with him.
Yep. And so him and Cara Dune split up. Mm-hmm. He's like, we're getting out of here.
May we meet again?
And I think they will. I think Andy's right.
Yeah, we're setting up a lot. We're setting up the Avengers team.
We're
doing
got his
it.
crew of people.
That's true. So he goes back to his ship and what? How's
Leaves.
the end?
Yeah,
he just
takes off, and
leaves,
that's
and
the
that's
end.
that's how it ends.
Yeah. And we get more cool concept art. I love that the
That's so
credits
good.
have the concept art rolling over them.
The song,
they're so
the song
good.
is good too.
I like
It's
everything.
growing on me.
I like everything but the opening bit of the song. And I didn't realize the theme was like made up of like 3 different parts.
Yeah.
And they play like a different part depending on what scene's happening.
Yeah.
It's just the opening like 1 minute that I really hated that theme. Which is
with
like
the
the weird
whistle
whistly
and-
things. It's
yeah.
like, what is this? This is
I
annoying.
like that because that's like, what's his name? Sergio Marconi.
Yeah.
yeah,
And-
it's just like him.
Yeah, I think-
Ennio Morricone.
I'm trying to remember
Yes.
who his composer was, because he had like the same composer on all his movies that did that too. I was just watching a thing about that and how.
Well, isn't that the composer?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Ennio
Okay,
Morricone.
you're right. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
I think
Sergio
that's,
Leone's the director.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. I was mixing the two. I don't like the last little bit of the song. The bit that makes it sound more like a Star Wars song. I think that doesn't fit with the
with the rest of
beginning
it?
part of the song. Yeah.
And Andy hates the middle part? Can we,
I think I have
do
to.
we each equally hate a different part of the song?
I hate that part that at the very end where it's like ba 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 ba.
Oof, yeah, I mean,
It's not like you're doing a lounge
I don't remember
version.
it, but from what you've sang here, I really hate that too.
It sounds terrible as I
It
sing
just
it.
sounds awful.
The best version of the song is the credit version, I think.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, that's the
Which
most,
is the middle of the song.
that's the most enjoyable part. Yeah, yeah, that's the best part.
Oh man, no, good episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like the character.
Fun
and I
little
like the
standalone
setting.
story. Nothing really happens. Just
You know,
like,
and-
it's very sitcom. Everything's got to
yeah,
start and end the
felt that
same
way.
way.
And I'm like, yeah, I love the monster of the week. It's my favorite format. So
Yeah,
give
it's not
me
really.
more.
That wasn't quite a monster of the week. This is more of like just like a Western tale.
Well,
I'd
yeah.
say. Yeah.
But just like a sort of almost unconnected kind of story.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
just
a,
kind of
a
self-contained.
filler episode, but it didn't feel like a filler episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as much.
I don't know what it really pushed forward. It established Cara Dune as a character. It tell a little bit of the backstory about the helmet. I think the Mandalorian's starting to like people more. He's
Yeah.
like starting
Yeah,
to, like,
that's true.
Trying to be a team player.
Yeah, he's forming connections.
Yeah, he still doesn't quite understand fatherhood. He keeps trying to leave that Yoda different
Yeah,
places.
he doesn't know how to raise a baby. He needs to get some books.
Well, they focus
Yeah.
more on it in the next episode.
Get some of those Paul Reiser books.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, what?
He's got a bunch of books about like childhood and like fatherhood and stuff. It's like his
He
thing.
needs to pick
Really?
like what to expect when you're expecting
Yeah.
and all that, you know.
He wrote that?
He wrote all those like weird like parenting books. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
you're not up in your Reiser knowledge.
I gotta rise up
Yeah,
on that.
you need to get a little
Riser.
high riser.
Hi.
Ooh.
No. No, Brad.
Rise against.